Julian Scott is an emergency medical technician in Santa Clarita, California. He is a kind and compassionate person, but his job can be very stressful at times. To help him cope with this stress, his wife got him a special dog to be his companion and support. The dog's job is to be Julian's best friend and provide him with emotional support. Unfortunately, Scott's dog Shelby went missing in the forest for 28 days. Despite searching for her, he couldn't find her. However, one day he received a call that someone had found Shelby. When Scott was reunited with Shelby, their emotional reaction was so heartwarming that you might need some napkins to wipe away your tears. Watch the video to see their reunion for yourself. Scott experienced a devastating loss when he was called to respond to an emergency involving a friend, and despite the efforts of the medical team, his friend tragically passed away. The event left a deep emotional scar on Scott, and he admitted that he needed emotional support to cope. That's when his wife, Sarah Edcock, also an emergency medical technician, came up with an idea to help him heal. Scott and his wife, Sarah, decided to get a dog to be their companion and provide emotional support. They searched for the perfect pooch, and they finally found the right one on July 23, 2018. Scott shared their decision on his Facebook page, saying, "We waited until we found the perfect dog for us." The couple saw their dog as having a special job, being the best assistant Scott could ever have. When Scott and his wife saw Shelby, an adorable dog, they knew she was the one for them. As they brought her home, Scott became emotional, and in an interview with the Dodo, he recalled saying to Shelby in the shelter parking lot, "I saved you, and now I need you to save me." The couple felt that Shelby had a special role as their companion and emotional support. Then, he said that the pooch has done everything, managing to pull him out of the grips of hell. Shelby and Scott did everything together. Not only that, but Shelby was also great with kids. The service dog was doing her job, and everyone loved her. What Scott said about her completely melted our hearts. "She's my best friend and my shelter from the storm," said Scott. They went everywhere together, even on family getaways. On the 4th of July, the family and their furry baby went on a camping trip to celebrate. They had no idea that things would take a turn for the worst. After a 6-hour trip to the eastern Sierras, the family reached the camping site, but as soon as they got there, Shelby appeared to be anxious. There was nothing that would scare her away, but she felt something and ran off towards the forest. The couple was horrified. Scott couldn't believe his eyes and worried about Shelby. They tried to find her, scoured the area, laid a few traps to catch her, but the lures started to attract other animals, which made Scott even more worried. What happened to his beloved pet, and where could she be? It looked like Shelby was gone, and all the traps was lures the pair placed only attracted bears, which made the couple more uneasy. Would their Shelby have been mauled by a hungry bear? Scott knew that Shelby had given him so much happiness, so he wouldn't give up on her.
Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story.
Scott didn't stop from searching for Shelby for 2 full weeks. Seeing he was unsuccessful, he called the founder of a nonprofit pet search and rescue group, A Way Home for Animals, a WHFA. Babs Fry. She was a real pet detective and the only person that would have a chance at locating the pooch. The experienced rescuer knew how to begin the search. At the beginning of August, Fry told the Dodo that their first attempts were not successful, but at least she managed to spread the news. Through communicating with everyone in the area, signs, camp, host, and general store, we were able to make sure that anyone that saw the dog knew exactly who to call. After the first step, Fry was soon contacted about Shelby being around that forest. She went out on a recon mission and looked around for food and water sources that the dog might come to. She then set 5 traps, and then she had to wait. Days later, she almost gave up. Days after monitoring the areas, Fry's effort proved out to be fruitless. Fry was considering trying a different approach when she received a call that Shelby, the missing dog, was 45 minutes away looking for food. Fry quickly grabbed her traps and rushed to the location. When she arrived, she set the traps and was able to catch the hungry Shelby. Now that she had captured the dog, Fry had to arrange a reunion between Shelby and her anxious family. Scott, Sarah, and their 2 children were excited to reunite with their furry family member and bring Shelby back home. The reunion took place on August 2nd, and the family recorded the entire event. In the video, Shelby can be seen slowly approaching Sarah, unsure of what is happening. As soon as Shelby realizes it is her mother, she becomes overwhelmed with emotion and starts showering her with kisses. When Shelby sees Scott, she stands on her hind legs and wags her tail excitedly. Scott sits on the floor to hug his best friend, and Shelby covers his face with slobbery kisses. Watching Scott's face as he embraces the dog is a heartwarming and emotional moment. Make sure to have some napkins handy for this tear-jerking reunion. Shelby is overjoyed and her tail won't stop wagging. She settles onto Scott's lap and rolls over for some belly rubs from her family. Shelby looks at them with blissful happiness. Fry described this moment as heart-melting, and the video ends with Shelby in Scott's arms, surrounded by the whole family. It is a mystery how Shelby was able to survive for 28 days in the forest surrounded by bears. However, it is clear that she is very happy to be reunited with her family. Fry said that no words can describe the feeling of walking through the door and seeing Shelby throw herself at her family and watching them embrace her with love. Scott had written on Facebook before finding Shelby, "Shelby, you sat by my side and laid in my lap until I could stand on my own. We will get you back. We will never give up on you. I saved you once and we will save you again." With Fry's help, Scott was finally able to keep his promise and reunite with Shelby, who was overjoyed to be back with her family. Fry was moved by the whole story and said in an interview, "I am still crying. The commitment level of Shelby's owners was by far beyond anything I have ever experienced." Many people might have given up after so many days, but Scott and his wife knew that they had to keep searching for Shelby, who had provided so much emotional support to Scott. Now, everyone is happy and Shelby is back home where she belongs.